Yo, yo, yo. This week on episode 107 of the X-Factor Sportz Podcast, did we watch the greatest World Series ever? Also, college football playoff rankings. Do they even matter right now? And we give y'all our Week 10 NFL X Factors. So keep it locked right here. Episode 107 of the X-Factor Sportz Podcast starts right now. Yo, this your boy. It's Jay Mondaine of the X-Factor Sportz Podcast. We are in Season 9, Episode 11. That's right. We are one episode away from the Season 9 finale, Episode 108. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. You can always catch the X-Factor Sportz Podcast every Wednesday night on YouTube. And if you like the audio, you can catch it on every audio platform that you can get podcasts on. So be sure to download. I see a lot of those downloads are coming. They're getting bigger and bigger. The downloads and the subscriptions on YouTube. So I appreciate the audience for tuning in. We try to give y'all the best content, real talk, unbiased takes. All right. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. For this episode, we're going to get right into the quick news. We got a lot going on. A lot has happened since the last episode. College basketball is back. So we got to start with that. On Monday night, I saw two freshmen that look like pros already. They look great. Starting with Arizona beating the defending national champion Florida Gators in the Vegas Classic. They were the first of the doubleheader. I'm going to talk about the other freshmen after this. But Koa Pete. Everybody's talking about Cam Boozer, DJ Donbasta, all these guys, even Cayenne Anthony's getting love because he's obviously Carmelo's son and he went to the alma mater, Syracuse. But this kid, Koa Pete, looks like a grown man out there already. As a freshman, had a 30-point double-double against the defending national champs, and they won the game. So shout out to him. Arizona, y'all got a good one out there. The Big 12 is going to be crazy this year in basketball. Can't wait to see it. Because in the second game of that doubleheader, you had DJ Donbasta, the number one player in this freshman class, BYU. I think they said his NIL is damn near $7 million. Like, these kids already look like NBA players. They get treated like NBA players, and they expected to go to class, which is crazy. That's a topic for another day. But when we get to basketball, college basketball is back. Again, they won their game as well. This kid had a nice game. I think he had like 21 points. So shout out to the freshmen in their first collegiate games. Again, like I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I'm interested to see these freshmen in conference play because that's when you got to go to these true road games. You got to play against upperclassmen. You got to play against your conference schedule. The officiating is different. It's not a neutral site. Teams and their fans on real home or real away courts are not there to cheer for you. So I'm interested to see how they take that. It's totally different from AAU freshmen. So we're going to see what it looks like. Then Duke Blue Devils, they played last night, beat Texas by 15 to kick off the season. Cam Boozer had a nice game, walk-in double-double. But the real story with Duke is Isaiah Evans. All right, this kid is going to take the next step. He came in with Cooper Flagg last year. Now he's a sophomore, deep three shooter, can get to the rim, athletic, will dunk on your head. He was 4 for 8 from three last night, had 21 points, led Duke in scoring. And it's going to be those types of games. Cam Boozer's going to have crazy nights where he leads them in scoring. Isaiah Evans is going to probably lead him most of the nights because he'll have the ball in his hands. But this team looks deep. I'm interested to see what they look like on the defensive side. That's usually what I care about with Duke basketball and young players is how they will play defense. So we'll keep an eye on that. But college basketball is back. Couldn't be more excited. It's going to be a great week of basketball getting started, which leads to the NBA. While we talking quick news, we can talk about the NBA. And what's going on here is I'm going to talk about 4 teams that have gotten off to good starts, great starts, just to start the season. Again, it's an 82-game season. So the teams that are getting off to quick starts, the Chicago Bulls, all right, they are now, 6-1? So they the number 1 seed. They the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Again, 7 games in, not even 10 games in. But a great week of basketball. The reason why I want to point out these teams is because they're getting off to great starts. The Bulls started off 5-0. First time since 97 when Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman was there trying to three-peat. That's the last time they did it. They didn't go 5-0 to start a season off when Derrick Rose and them was there, when Ben Gordon and them was there. They never did it. So shout out to the young Bulls team. They're doing all this without Kobe White, one of their best players. They move the ball around well. You don't know who's going to be the leading scorer on any given night. They play fast. They play up and down. So they can be a matchup nightmare for some teams. Last night, they was down 24 points to Philly, came back and won that game somehow. Josh Giddey can give you a triple-double on any given night. He did it again last night. You got Vucevic, who is a walking double-double. So shout out to the Bulls, man. Billy Donovan got them off to a great start. Also, even though they beat the Sixers is off to a great start too. They was 6-1 until last night. And they're doing all this without Joel Embiid and without Paul George. I think Joel Embiid played in a couple of games. He had a 20-point game the other night, but he doesn't look the same. This might be the beginning of the end for Joel Embiid. He can't stay healthy. He don't look healthy. He looks sluggish. And I'm going to say this. Again, this is why y'all come to the X-Factor Sportz Podcast. You get real talk and unbiased takes. I think he put so much energy into winning that MVP that every year after he won that award, his numbers and his health has gotten worse and worse. I don't even know if Joel Embiid is 30 years old yet. He might be 30. But his body is betraying him, giving up on him. This might be the beginning of the end for Joel Embiid. Despite all of that, the Sixers look good. VJ Edgecombe looks like he is a promising young rookie. I like seeing him with Tyrese Maxey in that backcourt. So we'll see what they can do. But they're off to a hot start also. In the Western Conference, as of last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder were the only undefeated team in the NBA, 7-0. They're doing it without Jalen Williams. Okay? And I said this a couple episodes ago. This may be a Golden State Warriors 2016 type of regular season for the Thunder. Some teams get complacent when they win championships. And then there are other teams that get hungrier when they win their first one. They want to win it again. And we're going to dive deeper into that later in the show. But this OKC Thunder team, even without their second best player, was 7-0, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing at an MVP level. He might average 40 already this season, this early in the season. Him and Luka might both average 40. But the Thunder are playing good basketball, keeping it going. They know they're going to get everybody's best shot every night, and they're up for the challenge. And so far, so good. Then lastly, surprisingly, the San Antonio Spurs. This team started out 5-0, and this has never happened in Spurs history for the San Antonio Spurs to come out the gate and win their first 5 games. We're talking the Tim Duncan era, the Ginobili, Tony Parker era, David Robinson era, like all those Spurs dynasty teams that won those championships, they never started a season 5-0. And Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs started it off in this young season, so shout out to them. Those are the 4 teams that started out the season or have started out the season on a high note. Hopefully they can keep it going. Again, Wemby looks like an MVP candidate early if he can stay healthy. We predicted he'd be second team All NBA just behind Jokic, but the way he's playing and the way he's got the Spurs playing, he may get first team All NBA looks too. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes. All right. The last thing in quick news is the World Series. Now, congrats to the LA Dodgers on winning the World Series in 7 games. Last week, I told y'all I picked the Blue Jays to win it in 7. But I also said anything can happen in these series. And sure enough, it did. The Dodgers was down in every single game. And they found a way to win this series, to win 2 games on the road in game 6 and 7 when they were down 3-2 to win this series. Went extra innings in game 7. And the Dodgers are back-to-back champs. Congrats to Mookie Betts getting his 4th World Series ring. He has the most championships out of all active players. Yoshi Yamamoto winning the World Series MVP, went 3-0, had a 1.09 ERA, looking real Madison Bumgarner-ish. Sorry to my Royals fans. Probably still got PTSD from that, but that's what Yoshi Yamamoto looked like. Coming in and getting a win in Game 7 and winning Game 6. Shout out to him. Which segues us into what we want to start with. All right. The World Series. Was that the greatest World Series we've ever seen? All right. I don't want to have recency bias, but I seriously tried to think, like, since the Yankees three-peated 98, 99, 2000, the Royals had a 7-game series. The Cubs in Cleveland had a 7-game series in 2016. Those San Francisco Giant championships in those odd number years, they won like 13, 15, 17, something like that. Like those years, I'm trying to think when I've seen a better World Series. And I can't think of one better than this one. This World Series had everything. All right? Everything you needed out of this series you got. You had superstars with Shohei Ohtani and Vlad Jr., right? You had great starting pitching. You're Savage, a rookie. This dude had one game where he had 12 strikeouts and no walks in the game. Then you had what we talked about earlier, Yoshi Yamamoto, went 3-0 in a 7-game series. In that 18-inning game, he was warming up saying, "I'll play if you need me to," off of 1 day's rest. Got no day's rest between game 6 and game 7, played in extra innings. That's why he won the MVP. Clutch moments, you had Freddie Freeman in the 18-inning game, hit his second walk-off home run in the World Series because he did it last year in game 1. A game that went 6.5 hours that we stayed up to 2 a.m. to watch. After going to Monday Night Football, I wasn't going to miss that. Again, history was being made. I wouldn't be me if I didn't stay up and watch that to talk about it. So you had that clutch moment. You had Miguel Rojas in game 7 come in batting 9th, slap a home run left field to tie the game to get it in the extra innings. One of the old vets on the Dodgers team. Will Smith hitting a game-winning home run in Game 7 to win the World Series. Like, just so much went on in this series. The historic moments on top of that. You had 18 innings, 6.5-hour game in Game 3. The Blue Jays led literally in every single game and still lost the series. The whole country of Canada is probably saying that the Blue Jays were the better team. And if you look at it statistically, they were. They hit better. They led every game. They had better pitching. Their bullpen was better. And somehow, some way, the LA Dodgers found a way, even down 3-2, going to Toronto. They found a way to win both of those games on the road, to win a second World Series title in a row. Now, the reason why I say that this is probably the best World Series we've ever seen is because how the Dodgers had to win the World Series championship. That was the definition of going out and going to get a World Series championship. It was not handed to them. It was not easy. They were underdogs in most of these games. And if they weren't underdogs by first pitch, by the fifth inning they were, because they were down every single game. And the resiliency it took for them to go get those games. They had to go fight to win that championship. It's one of the hardest championships to win that I've seen. So on top of the superstars, the clutch moments, the great pitching, and the historic moments, the fact that their championship medal was tested every game, I think that's the only thing that separated them from the Blue Jays. It was something intangible. It was something that you couldn't script, you couldn't manage or scout for. It's just championship medal. They had it, and the Blue Jays did it. They wanted it more. They were willing to, in game 3, they were willing to go 20 innings if they had to. In game 7, they were willing to go 15 innings if they had to. Like, they got guys running into each other in the outfield to catch fly balls to win that game. They just wanted it more. And sometimes the team that has the experience, has the championship medal, who understand the moment and understand what it takes to be a champion, win championships. Simple as that. Winners win. That was a microcosm of winners winning. Simple as that. Now, the Blue Jays had a hell of a season, and they might be the favorite to win the World Series next year. This may be one of them heartbreakers. I keep going back to the Royals because it just seems so similar. The Blue Jays season seems like the 2014 Kansas City Royals season, right? After All-Star break, they got it going. Their pitching was good. They made a miraculous run to the World Series, got to 7 games. They got dominated by a pitcher in 3 of them, and it was a heartbreaker. But that 2015 season, they came out hungry. I think they were favored to win the World Series wire to wire, and they completed the mission. So I wouldn't be surprised going into the spring if the Blue Jays are favored to win it all and they go on a tear, just motivated by what happened to them this season. But this World Series is simply a champion showing you why they are a champion. And they went out and got another one. All right? So y'all let me know what y'all think. Was that the greatest World Series that y'all have ever seen? Because I'm serious. I can't remember a World Series that's been better, that's had all these elements. Okay? So, again, if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. Let me know what you think. Is this the greatest World Series you remember, or greatest moments in World Series history? I'm sure there's been great moments in other World Series, but in totality, to go 7 games, to essentially play 8 games, because one of them went 18 innings, right? 74 innings they played in total in this series. So it's just crazy, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Again, we're on YouTube every Wednesday night, and then anywhere you subscribe to listen to podcasts, you can catch the X-Factor Sportz Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, share, let everybody know about it. All right. Okay. Now let's get into college football. Okay. Last night, they showed us the first iteration of the college football playoff. Now, I get it. It's good for TV to reveal who the top 4 teams are. Congratulations to Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama. Congrats. You're the top 4 teams on November 5th, 2025. The college football playoff ranking right now means absolutely nothing. Okay? I know why they do it. It's big business. You got to show it. Get everybody riled up. Have something to talk about on these shows on Wednesday morning, because somebody got somebody got cheated or they not in the ranking they supposed to be in, and how did this team get 9th, 10th, 11th? None of that stuff matters. All right. I don't even like that they do the college football playoff ranking this early because there's so many games to still be played, right? As soon as this happens, a team loses. It happens every year, right? Everybody wonders who's going to be here, who's going to be there. It makes no sense at all. This is how they should do it. Play all of your games because there is a break between bowl games, right? Then you got the conference championship games. You've already played conference championship games. You've already played your regular season schedule. Everybody who needs to play anybody has already played. You already have the AP poll rankings anyway. So when you do this first iteration of college football playoff, you're essentially following that ranking list anyway. So why the hell you need to do a college football playoff TV show for it? Makes no sense to me. The way they should do it is at the end of the regular season, after you got your conference champions, after you have everybody's played their season and there's that break before bowl season starts. That's when you should do the college football playoff rankings. That's the only time they should reveal it. Because you already have the AP and coaches poll rankings already set up year round. And I don't even like the preseason ranking polls. If y'all watch this show, y'all know I don't give a damn about college rankings at all preseason. They mean nothing, right? Because you still got to go out on the field or on the court. So they mean absolutely nothing. College basketball just started. The rankings mean nothing to me. These dudes ain't played no games. So it doesn't matter, right? The same with football. At this point, especially before Thanksgiving, like who cares about the college football playoff ranking? At this point, they're not playing in it yet. The tournament doesn't start. It's like March Madness. They always talk about who's on the bubble and, the first four in, the last four in. That's what football should do. Like, talk about who could possibly be there and then have a selection Sunday or something like that. But to have a college football playoff ranking show every Tuesday just seems dumb to me. Let them play all the games, and then let's see, based on the totality of their season, this is where these teams rank. That way there's no debate, there's no arguing, there's no, well, we'll see next week what they look like because Notre Dame has to play USC or Alabama has to go to Georgia or whatever the schedule is. Ohio State's got to play Indiana, so they're number 1 and number 2. None of that would matter if they just did the college football playoff thing at the end of the season. So because that can change, I'll give you a prime example. Ohio State is number 1. Indiana's number 2, right? They're both in the Big Ten. If they don't play each other in the regular season schedule, they might end up running into each other in the Big Ten championship, right? If Ohio State's number 1, Indiana's number 2, they're both undefeated. They meet up in this championship game after having all these weeks of Indiana at 2, Indiana just so happens to beat Ohio State. And then they leap them at number 1. Do we not know that that's already the case without having a college football ranking or college football playoff show every week? It's already implied. Both of these teams are in the same conference. They undefeated. So as soon as they play in the conference championship and one of them wins, that one will supersede the other. So the show is pointless to me. The SEC is the same way. You know whoever wins the SEC is going to be the number 2 team. The Big Ten is going to be the number 1 team, right? The Big 12 may be 4 or 5. Now, they talked about it last year. They're not going to do whoever wins the conference necessarily gets the top 4 spots. But if you win your conference, you're one of the best teams in America, especially if you're in a Power 5. It's implied. So the record shouldn't matter. And telling me who is the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 teams in the college football playoff on November 5th damn sure don't matter. Because we still got another month and a half before we even play bowl games. The college football playoff national championship ain't till like January 17th or something. Like it's damn near the mid-January because it's 12 teams in the college football playoff. So telling me about this ranking now makes no sense. To me, it's literally like saying, I'm going to give y'all the March Madness bracket selection Sunday. I'm going to give y'all that bracket on January 30th. So what? Nobody wants to see a March Madness bracket on January 30th because there's too many games left to be played. There's still conference tournaments to be played. There's automatic bids that need to be had, right? So that's why you get Selection Sunday. You get all the what ifs and buts, and then you get the actual rankings on that day. That's how football should do it. We can have a show about ifs and buts and, if they beat this team, then they can get here. Or all the projections. You can have your Joe Lunardi version of that in football and then reveal it when all the games are played. You still got to wait until bowl season to play anyway. So what does it matter when it's revealed? They do a final reveal anyway. At the end of all of it, they do a final reveal. So what the hell is the point in having 6 shows about the college football playoff when you do a final reveal anyway? That's all I'm saying. All right. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Is the college football playoff show, does it mean anything to you? Does it even matter? Especially the first time, early November, when the real bowl games don't come until Christmas? Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right. The X-Factor Sportz Podcast is on YouTube every Wednesday night. Again, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about college football playoff. Do you like that they do the show every week? Does it matter to you? Can they wait till the end? Do you guys agree with me? Like they can do one show like Selection Sunday and just reveal who are the top teams based on the totality of the season so we don't have to see it on a Tuesday night in early November. All right. Now that we on football, we're going to get to the pros. And we're going to talk about the X Factors for Week 10. Full disclosure, I wanted to bet that this week, but I didn't see any bets that I wanted to make on any of these games. Okay? College or NFL, these matchups, I couldn't find 5 games that I liked to make a parlay. So I'm just keeping it real with y'all. So because of that, I'm going to give y'all the X Factors for Week 10. And for those of you who are new to the show, the way we do X Factors in the NFL is the prime games, the primetime games in their slots for the week. Meaning tomorrow night, Thursday night football, I'm going to give you the X Factor for that game. I'm going to give you a Sunday noon prime game, like a marquee game on noon. I'm going to give you a marquee Sunday afternoon game, Sunday night football, and Monday night football. So these players I'm going to pick are the ones that will either be standouts in the games or their play will contribute to a victory for their team. That's how we do the X Factors. All right. So this week, we're going to start with Thursday night football. Tomorrow, we got the Denver Broncos. We got the Raiders at Denver. Now, Thursday night games have been nasty all year. Okay. If y'all been watching them, they slow, they sluggish. Unfortunately, players get hurt. I still don't know why the hell they do Thursday night football, but they like doing it. It makes them more money. We know the story. With the exception of the Icy Hot Bowl with Joe Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers. That game went crazy. We had poker here that night. That game was crazy. It looked like they was back in 2012, 2013. With the exception of that game, that Bengals-Steelers game, all these games have been nasty. But the Raiders and the Broncos, I don't think there's going to be an exception to that. So because of that, the Broncos defense is going to be the X factor in this game. Geno Smith loves throwing the ball to the other team. The Raiders lead the league in interceptions. He's got 11 and counting. All right. And the Broncos have one of the best defenses in football, even without Patrick Surtain, PS2. So with this stingy defense, I will be putting them in this week in my fantasy football. I got the Bears defense, but you got Geno throw the ball to me, Smith playing. You got to go with the Broncos defense. So that's going to be the X factor tomorrow night and Thursday night football. All right. In the next game, it's a noon game. It's going to be New England. New England Patriots go down to Tampa Bay. The Patriots, for some reason, don't do well in Florida. They've been like this since Tom Brady. They go down and play against the Dolphins. They always struggle. I don't know if it's the heat, the humidity in Florida. They just don't do well. So because of that, I got Tampa Bay coming off a bye. I got Baker Mayfield come out and ball. This might be the best team that New England's played to date. And with Emeka Egbuka coming back, I think Bucky Irvin will be back. So Baker's going to have his weapons, playing at home, fresh, off a bye. I think Baker has a great game. I can see him throwing 3 touchdowns with no problem at all, even though the Patriots defense has gotten better. I like what Baker looks like coming out of a bye week against this defense at home. So give me Baker Mayfield as the X factor in this noon game against the New England Patriots. Okay. The 3:05 slot on Sunday. I think this game is the Rams and the Niners. All right. So this game is basically Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Shanahan gets the upper hand on him majority of the time, probably like 80% of the time. I think since the Rams and Niners matched up, the Niners always get them. But this time, I'm actually going with Matt Stafford as the X factor in this game. Why is Matt Stafford going to be the X factor? Touchdowns. The dude just finds a way to get touchdowns. Puka Nacua is going to get touchdowns. Devontae Adams is probably the best wide receiver in football when it comes to catching touchdown passes. And it shows in the stats. All right. The Rams are number 1 in passing yards per game. Stafford has 21 touchdowns in 7 games. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 3 more against this banged up team in the 49ers. So I'm going with Matthew Stafford as the X factor in this game, tallying up more touchdowns. Puka Nacua back. So I'm going with Matthew Stafford. In the Sunday night game, we got Steelers come to LA against the Chargers. And in this game, I'm actually going to go with a wide receiver. I'm going to go with Ladd McConkey. In the Sunday night game, again, they are one of the better passing teams. Justin Herbert leads the league in passing, I believe. I think he's still number 1 in passing yards. And Ladd McConkey is his favorite target. I see him getting 8 to 10 receptions in this game. The Steelers defense has been shaky as of late. They had a good showing last week. It took the fans having a vigil outside of their stadium for the defense, for them to wake up and play. And I think going out to LA against a good Chargers team who's good on both sides of the ball, that's why they were in the power rankings last week. Ladd McConkey, I think, takes advantage of a mediocre at best Steelers secondary and has a good game. So I'm going with Ladd McConkey as the X Factor Sunday night. Then Monday Night Football. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm simply making this guy the X Factor because he's due. All right, so the Eagles go to Green Bay and play against the Packers on Monday night. And Saquon Barkley coming off a bye week. This is what I think. A team like the Philadelphia Eagles, as smart as they are, again, defending champs, I think they understand what made them a championship team. And it was their offensive line and their run game. The way Saquon Barkley played last year is what made them a championship level team. He hasn't had the best season so far. And I think they took the time in the bye week, and I guarantee you, I'm calling it now. You will hear this on the telecast. They took time in the bye week to shore up their run game, to make any type of tweaks or adjustments they needed to get Saquon Barkley the ball, whether it's in the backfield, whether it is handing the ball off to him, getting him in motion. They're going to find a way to get Saquon Barkley the ball. They're a better football team when he's involved. So that's why I got Saquon as the X factor in this Monday night game. All right. So there you have it. Those are going to be the X factors this week. On tomorrow night, the Broncos defense as a whole is going to be the X factor in that game. In the noon game, give me Baker Mayfield against the Patriots at home. In the afternoon game, the late game on Sunday, give me Matt Stafford against the Niners, touchdown machine. On Sunday night, I want Ladd McConkey. I think he gets a ton of receptions against this mediocre defense of the Steelers. And then on Monday Night Football, Saquon Barkley, I think the bye week benefits them well. A tough loss last week that Green Bay had. They're going to come out and show some fight. I don't know who's going to win this game. You got to get in my confidence pool if you want to see my picks. But give me Saquon Barkley as the X factor. If the Eagles are to win this game, it's going to be because Saquon Barkley is the X factor. All right. Again, the X-Factor Sports Podcast. We are on YouTube every Wednesday night. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow the X-Factor Sports Podcast. All right. Before we get up out of here, we're going to hit y'all with the 2-minute warning. And this week, this 2-minute warning is going to be about continued success. Okay. I think by now everybody's seen The Last Dance. Obviously the Bulls, Michael Jordan documentary, whatever you want to call it. I saw it as a Bulls documentary because I already know the things about Jordan. But there was things about the Bulls that they kind of gave everybody insight on. But nevertheless, success. Phil Jackson had a quote in The Last Dance, and it talked about success because they were winning championships, right? Continued success. And he says, success is you're only a success for the moment in which you complete the successful task. You have to do it again, right? So I started thinking about that while I was thinking of 2-minute warnings. In order to be a success, you have to have continued success. And I take that back to what we were talking about earlier in the episode about the Dodgers. They were the world champions last year. But in order for them to win this year, they had to go through the adversity of winning it again. You're only a success when you complete a successful act. If they would have lost Game 7, this would have not been a successful season for them. I'm sorry. Call me mean. Call it black and white. Call it whatever you want. I'm not from the era of participation trophies. I'm the wrong guy to talk to about it. I actually played sports for real. You win or you lose, okay? You are successful or you failed. And in order to be successful, you have to learn from failure. But when you are successful and you get that feeling of success, that act is what made you successful at that point in time. To have continued success, you have to do it again. Success is the moment in which you complete the successful act. So how do we have continued success? We continue to build off of the things that made us successful prior. We continue to learn from the failures and build on the successes. And that's how you get continued success. But keep that in mind, right? Understand that because you've done something well and you saw victory or you saw success in that moment, that's the moment you were successful. But then you got to do it again. Next season's a new season. Tomorrow's a new day. So what are you going to do again to have continued success? All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the X-Factor Sportz Podcast, episode 107, again, here on YouTube and anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Okay. If you like the gear, again, of course, you see I come at y'all with different colors, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all that. You can click the QR code at the bottom, or you can hit me up on direct message if you follow me on social media. Let me know your shirt size, color, whatever you like. Hats. I hit y'all with the gray one last week. We got black ones too. So go ahead and go to the X-Factor Sportz store or hit me up directly on social media and let me know what you're looking for. All right. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to episode 107 of the X-Factor Sportz Podcast. Next week is the season 9 finale of the X-Factor Sportz Podcast, episode 108. You do not want to miss this episode. We definitely will have bet that because I looked ahead and there are some great games next week that we will be betting on for sure. And I'm going to have some predictions for y'all going into the NBA season on some matchups. You don't want to miss that episode. Keep it locked. The X-Factor Sportz Podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all next week. Peace.